When you remember that Craig Richards is 7 foot tall. Hold on.
7'2".
Big man. Big man. You know what? So good to see you, Craig. After I've been doing the Craig Richards rally support on everyone's posts.
Supporting, love it. Always a strong supporter, and we've got to appreciate people like you.
19 months out, I didn't even realise it was that long.
Yeah.
Anyway, October Red, I'm here with Craig Richards, who's going in against a tough opponent, who's been in there with the likes of Lyndon Arthur at light heavyweight, Callum Simpson at super middle, and now he's coming to take you on.
Yes, strong opponent. I remember he boxed Lyndon Arthur on 3 days notice and gave a good 10 rounds and actually hurt him a couple of times in that 10 rounder. So we know he's strong. We know he's got a good amateur pedigree. I think he boxed for his Scottish Olympic team. Done a bit of background research on him. Yeah, so he's boxed at a very high level. Good high knockout percentage ratio. Stays in the gym, stays ready. So I know he ain't no mug. You know, he's playing cool, but I know what he's coming. He's coming to bring the smoke. So, and I've seen him in all the fights. It's always competitive, and you don't really get him out there. People caught him with big shots, and he'll be there firing back. So I'm not in there thinking I got no blow over on Saturday. I'm switched on.
Listen, one of the key things that, you know, I was sat down but I fell out my chair is when you announced that you've changed trainers and you've gone with Shane McGuigan, a good choice, a respectable trainer in the industry anyway. But 8 years you was with your former trainer. Shane disclosed that to me. I didn't realise it was that long.
Yeah.
What was it like making that decision to literally, that's like leaving home?
Yeah, well, I had this decision with my amateur coach. I remember I was with him forever. Before I even boxed competitively, I used to go down to the Lynn and Peckham and spar all the time. And he used to drive me all the way home. We used to have loads of talks. He used to look after me a lot. Then I came back to boxing because he made his own gym. So I went and had a journey with him. And he then wanted to turn me pro and have a journey. And I got to the stage where I knew I kind of outgrew the stage. Like it was as much as I could learn there. And I had to make that decision to turn pro and switch with Peter Sims, and I had to have the sit down talk with him. And it was a hard decision. And I felt like I got to that stage again in my career as a pro. And I had to have we had the same conversation where it was like time for me to push on to reach my next levels. Because otherwise I would have kind of always wondered what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I thought, I don't want to finish my career like that. And I have to kind of make this decision for myself to progress and move on to the next stage of the elite level of world level. And Shane McGuigan, the CV talks for itself. How much world champions he's produced and high level fighters he's produced. I think he's probably one of the most in Britain. So now I feel like he just showed me and taught me why he is producing so many champions, of how much flaws I didn't realize I had he's correcting, and how much of my assets I haven't been using, and some of the things I thought I was doing well was actually the opposite, and I should have been doing things differently. So now I'm just excited. Obviously I've got to implicate these things. It's only been a couple months. He's drilling things into me, but over time it will land. So Saturday I'm hoping to start getting some of this stuff in place and then getting straight back into the gym to start grafting and grinding again to keep learning.
I'm trying to think of a polite way to say this, Craig. But from the outside looking in, it was like you were this flower, you were developing, you're a fighter that takes risks. You were always turning up to all of the matchroom fights. You were there supporting it like matchroom die hard. And then it almost seemed as if you like disappeared into the background, and it's like, what happened to him? You know, I get it. Everyone has favourites, and I'm looking at it from a fan's point of view. I mean this as no disrespect, but it's like you were just fading off into the background. Yeah. So when I see you now, obviously, you know, you've made the change, you've stepped out of your comfort zone again. I'm seeing you more active. I'm seeing that, you know, the stuff being put up on social media. I'm seeing almost like the praise for the fighter that you are. And I can only speak from a fan's point of view. I'm not you. But can you see how us fans, you know, might have like jumped on the wagon that maybe this was the best decision for you?
I think everyone's saying it probably is the best decision for me. And it was a good decision for me. It was a decision that I had to make to move forward in my career. Hard decision, but I think it was the best decision for me personally.
You mentioned that you're learning again. I was saying to your coach, how is it now? Like, will you be stuck between styles? This is almost like your debut again, new trainer, you're changing the styles, and Did they have to manage the opponent? But as we know, your opponent is not a walkover.
I thought they were going to try and manage me an opponent, but
Yeah.
they didn't manage me an opponent.
Do you get a bit like nervous about obviously taking this like step like with the new trainer?
No, I think everything's God's will. So I believe in God's will, and I believe that everything for a reason. I just believe in the process. And my team, they're watching me every day, and they say, look, this is the fight, what's good for you. Okay, let's go. You know what I'm capable of. So it's not for me to overthink these things anymore. I'm seasoned enough as a pro now just to trust the team and just doing what I've got to do and work hard in the gym and turn up on fight night. That's it.
19 months out, and you've watched the light heavyweight division. I've always said we've got a beautiful light heavyweight division in this country. I'd say it's probably the pinnacle of UK boxing, the light heavyweights. You saw Dan Aziz and Joshua Boatsi go at it on the weekend. I want you to give me your fighter's opinion, because people said that Boatsi held back. People said that Dan wasn't quite himself. But your words, how did you see that fight on the weekend?
It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I can see why people were saying that Josh looked like he held back, because people were saying in the 12th he looked like he was hurt him and then he stepped off of him. But I don't know, Josh has got a good heart, so I don't know. But at the same time, Josh can be spiteful when he's ready in the ring. So you don't know. You don't know what's going on in there. We never know. We can always just speculate. But Josh seemed to be in control of the fight, and yeah, he just showed that he's at that elite level.
When, like I said, you have the timeout and you see these guys and they're kind of like moving through the ranks, and you know that you was like that close to the world level. How does it feel that you've sort of like now got to like reset and literally play a little bit of catch up?
It's all part and parcel. Yeah, it is what it is. Bit of part and parcel. I don't mind. I just got to get back in there, do what I do, and I'll be back to where I'm supposed to be, and I'll be picking up the world titles eventually.
I hear that you've called for a possible rematch with Boatsi as well. How do you think that goes this time when you look back at that fight? Because I had that extremely close. I was there. I watched it. There was it's like it
was one of them fights that was in the balance. But this is the difference of why I need to make a change, and I need to not have these fights in the balance anymore. I need to make sure my wins are convincing, clear. Not saying I won. I'm saying that when I'm competing, it's not fights in the balance. Like, oh, he's made a great account of himself. It was in the balance. It's like Craig dominated that fight. Craig showed his level, and that's what it has to happen now.
And this is what we're expected to see from you moving forward with this new and revitalised Craig?
Yes, Craig 2.0. Next gen for real.
I will ask you about that. A couple of people were moaning, saying, why is he next gen? He's been boxing forever. But how would you address that comment?
To be honest, it wasn't about the next gen. It was like, do you want to fight ASAP? There's a London show. Do you want to jump on it? Obviously, I'm not next gen. I've done 5 next gen shows, headline next gen shows years ago. But it was an option where it was like, there's a show there. Do you want to jump on it? And it was like, yeah, cool. I'll get involved. The Nate should have probably scribbled me out of my thing saying next gen. Obviously, I'm not next gen, but I just needed the activity.
When we talk about the mapping out for Craig Richards, what do we see for 2024? Where do you want to get to? I'm not asking you to overlook. I'm just saying, as ambition, as goals, where do you want to get to?
Activity. I want big fights and I want to get some big wins under my belt. But first and foremost, Saturday night, Boris is my first fault.
Do you think this performance could determine whether you could end up... I keep talking about this, but it's something that excites me. We've got the Matchroom versus Queensbury. And if that was the case, when you're thinking light heavyweight, who do you think over there, then?
I'm not sure, but if the Saudi money's there...
Bro, the Saudi money's there, I'm there.
I won't be asking who's the other side, I'll just be signing. I won't even look at the name.
Craig in there with heavyweights and cruiserweights, you don't care, get that check. Listen, Craig, I'm happy to see you back. I really want to see you, like you said, it's not up to the decision, no more close fights, getting that convincing win.
100%, and I thank you guys for always supporting me. Come on, I thank my sponsors as well who's always supporting me. Elite Fleet, Mill Team, Print Town, Everlasting Sports Direct. You rid with me through the dark times, but now we're here, we're back, 2024.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.